Hello guys, Fernando here with Open Mat Talk again. Today we very happy here. Have a really important person here, Josh Luchan. He's a member of us gym and gonna talk about a little bit about his life, about jiu-jitsu, about actually he went to some reality show. Tried to find some girls in the past.
yes, very much the past.
Very much in the past.
The past.
Angel, actually, he's okay now. He's loving you, Angel. That's why. Yeah. But we're gonna talking about that because it's an interesting thing. Yeah. But before that, about jiu-jitsu, what you bring you in jiu-jitsu, Josh?
So I've been training from end of 2022. I started doing a little bit of jiu-jitsu when I lived in Auckland. So I was just casual, maybe one day a week. And then when I moved down from Auckland to Hamilton, I started out at another gym called Riverside. So that's a pure no-gi gym. I did that for a while. It was good. It was fun. But then I decided I wanted to try out the gi because, the gi is just another aspect of it. And then so I came here. And then I've pretty much been here ever since. So been here for 2 years.
Have you did some martial arts before jiu-jitsu, like some different mixed martial arts?
Yeah. I've done judo, Japanese jiu-jitsu, did a little bit of boxing, taekwondo. I've tried everything over the years. Just give things a go. You'll notice with me, I'm very much give it a go. If I don't like it, then at least I know that I've tried it type of person.
Good. Yeah. And what fix you in jiu-jitsu? What you like jiu-jitsu? Actually, I love jiu-jitsu because all my life I did jiu-jitsu. But what do you think jiu-jitsu take you more time in this martial art? Different than the other ones?
Yeah. I think jiu-jitsu is a lot more social. Like, that's definitely a big difference from any other martial art you do. Like, if you do judo, you're with a partner, you're practicing and stuff like that. But then you pretty much practice everything in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with another person. And then you kind of get to understand why things work, why they don't work. Like, say I do something with Aaron, he's a big boy. I could do it with him, and then it doesn't work because, he's bigger, he's got big shoulders. I go with someone else and then it works because they're, slightly more my size and stuff like that. Whereas, when you do judo or something like that, like in judo, I can't lift the guy because he's just too heavy. I'm like, well, there's nothing there. I just can't lift him. That's all it comes down to, But then in jiu-jitsu, I try and do that same technique and I can go, if I change this is why it works now.
Some different techniques, principles in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. This is really interesting you talking about that because we have some conversation this week, me and the Master Ronnie. For example, I'm gonna ask your opinion. What do you think about? I know now Jiu-Jitsu getting big, Jiu-Jitsu all the world. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, for example. If you go America, some of the guys start American Jiu-Jitsu. What do you think some gyms open and they don't have Brazilian professors, but they have a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu over there. And what do you think about that? You think it's the same technique? Because you train with some no Brazilian professors and you train with Brazilian professors. What do you think about the techniques, about the skills, things like that?
I think like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a Brazilian coach does feel more authentic. But then, even at other gyms, you still learn the same thing.
The same technique.
Yeah, you still learn the same techniques. You still learn all the same stuff. But, I think for a true authentic experience, if you have a coach who learned it, back, say, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, in Brazil, you can't get more authentic than that.
Yeah,
but
because
so I don't think
you learn the coach as well.
Yeah, because I don't think it's not authentic and it's not any different, but you know, it is still, it's not Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah, because I talking about that because sometimes people's, for example, learn Jiu-Jitsu, come in the gym every day or 2 times a week, 3 times anyway, and the professor show the technique, talking about the technique, do the rolls, everything, but the professor don't have a history. For example, they don't know too much about the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu history. They don't know too much about when it start, who make a popular in Brazil, like Family Grace Family. And yeah, I think when you have a Brazilian professor, if they really teach Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, I think, in my opinion, they need to teach the culture behind this as well. The Brazilian culture, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, real Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, like who started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, back to the day, how they make it famous, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, because come very popular from Grace Family. What they did for make it popular, and lots of people don't know that.
Yeah,
and that's I said, when you learn in Brazilian with Brazilians, some Brazilians as well know talking about that, but in my opinion, we need to learn that about belts, when the confederation changed, they have an intermediate belts, everything, do you know? And I want to ask you on your opinion, because you said, oh, in Brazil is really authentic, but you as well try different martial arts.
yeah,
And in different martial arts, you feel more confident in Jiu-Jitsu.
yeah.
And only this part, like social part, make you keep it going Jiu-Jitsu, or some more fame?
Oh no, I definitely enjoy it. It's fun. You know, that's the thing. It's fun. I don't think like Jiu-Jitsu is probably one of the things that you can never stop learning. You know, you can always get to a point where you have your game. You know, you like to do certain things, but then there's always people coming out with something new. Even though it's not new, it might have existed, 10, 15 years ago, but then people didn't do it. And then that's something new to, come back to and learn. And you could be like, oh, okay. And then the people that you roll with and interact with in Jiu-Jitsu are always different. So you're always doing, different techniques because someone's trying to use their A game and you're using your A game, and then, you're like, oh, okay, it doesn't work, it's a clash.
Yeah, that's why sometimes I have some people question me. Oh, you think this position, for example, beating ball work? Oh, K-guard now getting popular work. Definitely work. For the new generation work. Because I am coming from old school.
Yeah.
And I work with basic. Definitely, I needed to learn different techniques, new techniques for show my students, try my students getting better. Yes. But in my game, I am old. I am no flexible, the same in the past. Everything changed when you're getting old. And I think for me, not gonna work in my game, beating ball or some different game. But for the new generation, completely different. The new generation do some stuff you can believe it. And that's why exactly Jiu-Jitsu is every day comes something new. And it's very excited because people come with something new and you say, wow, this is a new technique and I need to try escape that.
Yeah,
This one
100%. Like something else to note that we were just talking about before was like when you go try something like judo, even though judo's you don't really get a Japanese professor, right?
Yeah.
How rare is it to find a true Japanese person teaching judo nowadays? But then all the lineage and everything that they do it's always in Japanese. They counter Japanese. It's always got the Japanese names. It's always, everything is Japanese. But then the difference with judo is that even though you've got all that, there is no new learnings. Every throw that's going to ever be thought of is kind of done. Yeah. That's kind of it. Whereas with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, it's forever changing.
Yeah. That's why, in my opinion, it's really hard we go in Olympics one day. Actually, I don't think we never. I think we never go in Olympics because it is really hard for the confederation, and some people's big in jiu-jitsu, they think if we go in Olympics one day, we're gonna lost the jiu-jitsu essence, like the jiu-jitsu, really true jiu-jitsu, and because they make lots of rules and stuff like that.
And that's what's happening in judo.
Yeah, that's
every
why,
year they change it.
Yeah. And hopefully one day it is really good. But now we have a big competitions, and the big competitions, they give you lots of money as well. And have you been some competitions, Josh?
I've only done one. It was a couple of years ago now. I got silver, so it was pretty good. But for competition, I find like coming up to the competition, I'm always very nervous. Like that's always the hardest part. When I get onto the mat, I'm fine. You can't think of anything other than the person that's in front of you.
Yeah.
But then every moment before that, you're just so nervous.
No sleep night before, no eat properly.
And that's what makes me not want to compete. But then I know that when I'm there and I'm on the mat, it goes away.
Yeah, but everyone like that.
Yeah.
Everyone. People's asking me, "Oh, you black belt now? You feel nervous?" I say, "Yes, definitely. I feel nervous. I think the plan night before what am I gonna do, and the day I do completely different.
Yeah.
Sometimes I fight like I can't believe it. I say to myself, I fight like a white belt because I forgot everything, my plan, everything I have in my mind. I lose, because it's a nervous, it's adrenaline. But I like as well because I put myself to fight different persons I usually to fight in my gym, stuff like that. And I all my life I went to the competition. I like getting old, but I like. Okay, and actually you have your girlfriend is doing jiu-jitsu as well.
Yeah. She does jiu-jitsu. She trains out of Tukaha.
With Pedro Tukaha.
Yeah, in Auckland.
In Auckland.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Getting the family, jiu-jitsu family now. Yeah. And there's some more plans for this year, competitions or keep training, goals for this year?
That's this guy. So
getting married this year or someone tapping behind here.
No, definitely not this year.
Take the time.
Exactly.
Take the time. You're young, eh? How old are you, Josh?
36.
36.
Yeah, 36.
Yeah, Josh.
Still plenty of time. As far as competition goes, so you obviously know, my knee is not 100%. Like my knee got really, really good at the start of the year and then I hurt it again. So at the moment, it's probably at like 80%. So if my knee becomes like really, really good again, then I will commit to competing. But, some days I can leave training, doesn't hurt, no problems. Some days I leave training and I'm walking out here, But
Krill oil.
I use that. Every day I take it. Yeah.
Sometimes I take the krill oil and my knee is back to sore.
Yeah.
And sometimes I said farewell, I forgot. And I take for another couple of weeks. Peter, this is a miracle. This product is very good. Thank you, Jamie, for that. Let us know about
because then he told you, and then you told me, and then I started using it. And that's what made my knee good.
Yeah,
and then I don't know, just hurt it again. But if it comes good, then I'm definitely gonna put myself into competing. But I don't want to sign up and commit now, and then it's not at 100%. You know, when I
Oh
when I go.
definitely. You need to be good for, and if you feel good before they go in competition as well.
Yeah.
And look, you go in the competition, try to do your best, and it's another stage, another goal for you looking forward. And you go in there and you work good, no work. Oh, what I needed to do for getting better in my game, do you know?
Yeah.
And the same when you train in the gym as well. And day by day, you train, you think, oh, what I did wrong with this guy, he submission me that, what I can change, and
Yeah,
that's
100%.
why we talked about yesterday. Every day we have some different games, and we need to adapt ourselves and try getting better,
Yeah.
getting better. And another question, new generation jiu-jitsu. We have a lots of master. Last week, I think I saw some video for Helson Gracie. He said, oh, this new generation now, the guy sit on the floor and they push the pump on the floor and they squash on the floor, and I don't like this game. He's a good master, Family Grace, because, again, he come into the past, long time ago, and old school, the same in me. We actually... his family as well make the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu for street fight. And street fight, if you sit, someone kick your face. You know, but today's new generation, competition, they make the game, you know. Confederation as well, IBJJF try change some stuff on the rules for the people know straight away sit. It got a punishment, got a penalty, but what do you think about that? The new games like beating bolos, pulling the guard, Spider, De La Rivas, stuff like that. The guy take you on your lapel and sit straight away. Leg games. Now we have a lots of leg games. Principal in Nogi.
Jiu-Jitsu, I guess back, you know, when it was first created, it wasn't what it is today. They could never have foreseen that it would become this. So... And it's natural, things change, and I think now it's definitely more of a sport than it is, you know, a fighting, you know, combat style that, you know, they probably wanted it to become. But I think, you know, people have fun doing what they want to do, because if you took everything away, how many people would still want to do jiu-jitsu? You know, if you said, oh, you can't, you know, sit, how many people will go, well, I don't want to do it anymore? You know, and then you lose all those people that. When you watch some people, you know, they could start seated, but all of a sudden they're on the person's back. You know?
That's I said it to Master Ronnie. Master Ronnie said, oh, Fernando, now you are gaming the border. He said, yes, because in the past I love takedowns. Love takedowns. I got on my black belt in judo. I love takedowns. But now I'm scared to hurt myself. And because I am broke on my body. And my game is more in the bottle. And I feel comfortable in this game. Definitely is a danger as well sometimes, because depending the guy I take, is a hard. But I am scared as well with some takedowns. I can do takedowns and they can hurt myself, or can someone doing takedowns in me and hurt myself as well. And that's why, for me, and the new generation is amazing now. I saw lots of, we have some kids in here, phenomenal. Like the kids is really good ones, and that's I say that we can't make the guys doing what we need they to do, but the same time we can teach good way for they do the jiu-jitsu and they adapted the game. And about your reality show. Talking about this.
So I guess you don't know the story at all.
No.
So this was a number of years ago now. So this was so we filmed it in 2021 and they aired in 2022. So It was a dating show called Arranged. So it follows, like, I guess, cultures where they have arranged marriage, right? And they were following this one young woman, and she was not getting an arranged marriage, right? In her culture, she was Indian. In her culture, it was very common to have arranged marriage, but she didn't want one, right? Even though she was fully following the, her culture, whereas I don't. So what happened was one day, I got approached to be on the show. Like, I was talking to this person about filming locations and stuff like that. And they just said to me, "Oh, would you like to be on the show?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'd love to. Why not? I got nothing to lose. I was single at the time." And then what happened was I gave them my number, all my details, and they took like 2 to 3 months to contact me. And that time I started dating another person.
Ooh.
And and then they contacted me, and then they were like, "Oh, are you still interested?" And I was like, "I'll come back to you." I didn't tell them I was dating this other person and all that sort of stuff. But then, so I talked to the person I was with, and they were like, "Yeah, that sounds like it's going to be really fun and stuff like that." Because they knew that I was only going on there just to be on TV, fun experience and stuff like that. So I called the producers back, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, I'll go on the show." I didn't tell them I was seeing someone, and that, like, I really just wanted to do it because it was, a new experience being on TV. And so I went on the show, and the date that we had was we went to this place in Auckland where we painted mugs. So they had different things, but we chose mugs to paint, and then they'd make it into like a proper mug and stuff like that. But at that point, I'd been on TV like a couple of times, just like random interviews, like when you go somewhere and they want to interview a person, like they'll come up and interview me and stuff like that. But I'd never felt what it was like to actually be like on a proper TV show before. So it was a very, very different experience. Like the whole, like, it was a one camera setup. So one camera setup means that, any angle you see is because they picked the camera up, they moved it, and then they started filming again. Wow. So you could be in one scene how we are now, and then at one point they'll go cut, and then they'll move the camera over there, and we'll do the exact same scene again, just from a different angle with that one camera. So the ones I remember was like when we went inside, we would film going inside like 3 or 4 times, right? Like we would constantly do the whole, "Oh, okay, go inside, up, cut, go back out, go in again for us. We're going to put the camera here, and we're going to do this angle of you going back inside." And I'd be like, "Oh, okay." And then I'd make jokes about stuff like we'd go up and we're going to paint sheep, right? So I was like, all I have to do is put eyes on it and I'm done, right? And they thought it was so funny that they made me film it like 5 different times. And I was like, but I can't say the joke the same way I did the first time, because it was natural the first time. And then I'm like, the second, third, fourth time, it's like I'm trying to remember how I said it. And it was a lot of that, And I never realized that that's how reality TV really is.
Because they take it, my opinion, I don't know nothing about that, but I think they take the good moments, the good
100%.
way,
Yeah.
the
good angle,
exactly.
The good reaction, everything. Yeah, because then they'd say like, "Oh, okay, we need you to just stand here this time," and then they'll get that angle, and then that's what they want. They want to have, I guess, a range to choose from with you standing in different places, saying the same thing, and how it looks, and then. So we filmed for about maybe 2 hours, and like in that 2 hours was just maybe 30 minutes of content, but it was continuously like, "Oh, do this again, do that again. Let's move the camera over here, redo that." And at the end of it, they had like a list of things that they wanted me to re-say. So like jokes that I had made throughout the whole time, they were like, "Okay, we need you to say, you said this." And I was like, I don't even remember saying it. They're like, "You said this. Can you say it again for us? But this time, can you say it like with the camera being from behind you?" And I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah." So like everything you see like in the episode is like a lot of it is me being like more of an actor than being myself.
But you need to go more than one time over there, or only one time?
Just one time. So we we filmed it over 2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah, 2 hours on the day or at nighttime. 2 hours we filmed, for maybe 30 minutes of content. And it was fun though. Like I definitely would do it again.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Because we saw, my opinion as well, again, when I saw some reality show like that, and in my opinion, it's a lot of days,
Yeah.
and I think, this guy go, for example, in the beach, next time in this place, restaurant, stuff.
I think, if it was multiple locations, it'd definitely be multiple days. But for us, it was just one location.
Okay.
So they managed to like do it, I guess, in that one location, everything filmed. Like we did shoot outside also, but because at the end of the 30 minutes of content, they only really wanted to use 10 minutes of it. Because like, when you watch the episode, she goes out with other people also. So the whole 30-minute episode is her on like other dates. So then mine was just a 10-minute slot of that. We were meant to film another episode after that, but then they decided not to for whatever reason. But I had a good time. It was fun.
It's very that's good experience.
Yeah, and
experience.
I got to see what it's really like.
Yeah.
So now whenever I watch, like a reality TV show, I know exactly what's going on.
These guys did record 2 hours and they repeat it many times.
Yeah, and I can tell when someone said something multiple times. You could tell by the attitude, like because I felt the same way. Like I was getting annoyed at some points. Like like how I'm wearing a microphone now was. We at the very, very end, there's a final scene where we walk up the driveway and then we say goodbye to each other, right? And because it was a driveway that was steep, I had to walk all the way back down the driveway, and like they could hear me on the microphone being like, how many times am I going to have to walk up this driveway? I was like, I'm getting tired walking up this damn driveway. And then I walk up the driveway and they're like, oh, okay, we won't make you walk up the driveway. You can go halfway this time. I was like, I didn't realize they could like hear me with the microphone. But like I was getting annoyed because the driveway was very steep. So I was like, I was doing a cardio session trying to walk up this hill every time to like just do the same scene. And then like that one scene was maybe like 10 seconds in the end. It was just 10 seconds of us saying goodbye.
Wow.
But we filmed it for like 10 minutes. Me going down the hill, back up the hill, down the hill, back up the hill. Just because it was outside at nighttime. So they really wanted the lighting to be so perfect. Whereas when we were indoors, it's all indoor natural lighting. But then when you're outside, like if a car's driving by and it adds more light, they're like, oh, we can't use that, you know? And I was like, I never would have thought of all that.
Good. One thing I forgot to ask you, Josh, I think is, we make this just, we don't have a professional people in here to do the podcast. Supposed to be, I'm going to ask this before, but the first time, what you do for work?
Oh.
Because we are in here for talking everything, about everything. And it's supposed to be this question before the other one.
I work in IT. I don't work at the same place anymore. I'm looking for a new job now, but I was a team lead for service operations. So what that does is it's like we keep everything running, basically. Like the majority of the things that we deal with would be someone calling up, oh, my laptop doesn't work. My team would go, oh, okay, what doesn't work? Why doesn't it work? Try and figure out the problems. Sometimes it might not even be your laptop that's the issue. It could be somewhere else in the world there's an outage and you're just affected by it without even knowing, and it's a lot of that. So I deal with, just making sure that everyone's doing what they're supposed to be doing, helping with more complex situations, keeping them trained, making sure all that sort of stuff.
But no make a program and stuff like that.
No programming. No, just you would call it if you were outside like infrastructure work, just keeping the lights on.
Okay.
Basically, keeping everybody running would be the main thing that we do. It's good. I enjoy it.
Good.
I tried programming, didn't enjoy it.
Good.
Not for me.
And you from India or you New Zealand? Fiji.
Yeah, Fiji. Yeah. So
you born in Fiji?
No, born in New Zealand, but my parents are both from Fiji. My dad was actually born here, but then he grew up back in Fiji. So he was born here, then they went back to Fiji, then he grew up in Fiji, then he came back here when he was a teenager. My mum was born in Fiji, spent most of her life there, and then she came to New Zealand. And then my parents met when they were just in New Zealand.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And your girlfriend?
Chinese. Yeah. So she came over from China when she was like 7. So she's been here, forever.
And she work as well in Auckland.
Yeah, as a nurse. Yeah.
Nurse.
Yeah.
Ah.
So if you met her, you'd just think she was born here. Yeah. She's been here for so long.
Yeah, she's got a good English.
Yeah.
10,000 better than mine. Hey, Josh, is it hard to understand him in the matter?
I think when I first came here, it was very difficult. Like, I remember the first day I was asking other people, I was like, what did he say? Like, what? And then, now, obviously, I can, no matter what you say, I understand you. You could say random words and I'm just like, I know what he's talking about, because I'm just so used to it. And I guess also being from an ethnic background where I hear other people that don't speak good English, you get so used to understanding people and what they mean based on what they're talking about, and same thing, new guys will always come in here and then they'll be like, what did Fernando say? And I'm like, you'll get used to it. Like, I can guarantee you'll get used
some
to
of
it.
the words is still really hard for me. I would say after I moved with Janelle and we talk every day English is better. But before that, I live with Brazilians and speaking Portuguese every day, and it's really hard. And some of the words is really, really hard now.
Yeah.
Actually, now I have another job, just this job because I finished 2 years ago my personal training diploma, and I wanted something in the area for me work just for getting more skills. And I started working this F45 gym, and it's so funny because they understand me 100%, but some of the words is really, really hard to me say. And some device? You have some device?
No, I think you're probably doing the best thing, just talking in English every day.
Yeah.
And I think the good thing that you do when you're here is that if you say, even though you might say a word perfectly correct, if you're unsure, you still ask if you're right, and it's like, that's all you can do, right? As if you're unsure, you ask instead of, like other people just continuously say the word wrong.
The same shin and chin.
Yeah. But then, you always look at someone and be like, is that right? We'll be like, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's good. And then
because I show the technique, but sometimes I want you guys me understand as well. Because I know teach only adults, I teach kids. But I think the kid is in the past the kid is looking at me. I know they don't understand.
Yeah.
Now they understand me 100%. And this is really important. What do you really enjoy particularly in this gym?
And this
I don't want to talk about too much the life space because we created the podcast much talking about everything. But what you like this place?
I'll give you my top 3 things that I enjoy. Number 1 is it's a good facility. The mat is quite big. You've got multiple toilets. There's a place like this where you can hang out. It's not just you walk in there and there's just a mat and that's it. You've actually got places where people can hang out. We can all talk. We all, socialize before, which I think makes it more than just, a gym. It's not just a gym. It's a place that
family environment.
Yeah. Like you come here and you be like, oh, who's training today? And then you see each other and everybody that walks through shakes hands. You might not notice it. Everybody shakes hands with each other, and it's good because you feel like, oh, hey man, how are you today? How was your day and stuff like that. And I'd say that's probably like for me the number 1 thing about this place is that it feels it's comfortable. You're not just walking in here and walking out. You come here and it's good. The second thing I would say is The teaching is quite good. I think it's nice that we've got you and Ronnie. You know, it's good to have two different perspectives on it. And even when I came here, it was just you. You know, I still stayed because I think your teaching is also, it's quite good. You know, we learn a different style from you because you are very old school in your jiu-jitsu, you know? Whereas I guarantee if I went to YouTube today, a lot of the stuff you see would be more modern technique, you know? But then when you learn something older, it's quite good because if you go somewhere and you do this technique to someone, they're like, I've never seen that before. Because you can't just go to YouTube and see it,
Yeah.
you know? Because it's quite old school. I would say the third thing that I probably enjoy the most about this place is it's just, you know, it's in a good location. Which means that we get really good people coming through the door, and it's very easy just to be here. You know, it doesn't feel like a heavy comp focused gym. You know, where we are, we're just getting
It's
everybody.
not only like a commercial, not
Yeah.
only like a company. It's
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
like a, that's I say it's my dream is forever keep it the same way,
Yeah.
never lose the family environment.
Yeah.
This is really important. That I said when I saw something getting different, I try bring it back
Yeah.
because I like this environment, like a family environment, and
yeah.
everyone talk each other. This place, sometimes the person coming to the gym and the day they have a very heavy day,
Yeah.
and they very little bit down and talk to the friends. Farewell. Today I'm no think coming to train, but I come to train and I feel completely different. And you guys help me, talk to me, and now I feel different. It's
Yeah,
really good.
100%. As soon as you walk through the door, you forget about everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's good here. And I think one of the biggest things you notice that is when you do gradings, you know, how many people come, hang around for the barbecue, you know, or just get together and stuff like that, you know, and it shows that people are here for more than just jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
You know, they're here because of the environment and the
One
people.
thing I got a question last week as well, why we do the grading the way we do it. For example, me and the Master Ronnie, very old school. We look you guys every day, and some points before grading, we sit and say who we gonna grade. Oh, this guy improve, this guy not improve, this child don't care too much, this child, you know?
Yeah.
We do this way, is a old school. The same in Helio Grace Faith. I do straps wherever I want. I change the belt wherever I want. But before that, we look you guys every day in the mat.
Yeah.
Every day. Me and the Master Ron. Me and the Master Ron. And this is really important because some gyms start doing like a show, doing like a make a day, and like a definitely it's a commercial, you know. They need to make some stuff is different, like for people see and
Yeah.
looking. But this is one thing I'm never gonna change
Yeah.
because I like it the way we doing, and I feel the way we doing as well is more family,
Yeah.
more human. We saw you, and we change the belt, we give it the stripe if we think you're ready. Otherwise, it stay the same. It's different. They make one show, like make come here, fly amber, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, and after that, grade someone. And sometimes grading someone is not ready to grade it, and someone in the gym, for example, 2-3 years and not graded the person. For my opinion, it's a little bit wrong. Or sometimes they don't know the student because have many students. We have many students in here, but I call all my students per name. You know, see me like, oh, who's you? Sorry, I don't meet you before. Nah. I try call per name because I think this is really important and it's a human, you know, touch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
What you think about that? Because we saw lots of different gyms. The master or the professor never see the students, and sometimes graded one student and the other one ready to be graded, and he no graded this one because maybe this one friend or see more.
I think for grading in particular, everybody's different. Some people will excel in certain areas, and I know that like a lot of other gyms have a curriculum, and I guess it's good to have something that people should do, but then at the same time, some people could excel at certain parts of the curriculum and be terrible, but then say, they still submit everybody that they come across. And it's purely maybe because their body type, they can't do parts of the curriculum, but then they can do other techniques very, very well, and it shows that it's not that they're not trying, it's just that's not for them. So I think that the way that you do it, where you look at people and analyze like, oh yeah, they actually, because there can't be a situation in the gym where, someone comes in and taps out everybody, it's impossible. And then at the same time, people won't lose to everybody, they won't come in and then every day they're leaving here, getting tapped out and going, oh, that was a terrible day, So then it's looking at people and going, oh, okay, they're really good in this position. They're really good here. They're really good here. And then, they're showing growth. Last week they got stuck in an armbar. The next week they're escaping the armbar, and it shows that they're learning and they're growing and they're getting better. And then I think it's good to grade them like that, which I think is really good about this, the way that you do it.
Yeah, and look, if the guy, in my opinion, if the guy think he's ready, but he not coming to train, he's not ready.
Yeah.
I think if he come minimal 2 times a week, in 1 year and a half, 2 years, he ready for blue belt.
Yeah.
If he keep training purple, brown, black. Otherwise, if he stop, or I saw lots of people changing the gyms just for grading another gym, change the gym, go another one, take a purple. Stay 6 months, go another one, take a brown. And the black in really fast. And yeah, it's complicated talking about that, but in the moment, it's getting worse in the world. People's getting graded so fast, very commercial. But it's the way someone graded. I'm not changing my way, and I think we need to keep human contact, and the same in my certificate. I make a time to make the certificate, and the time I make, I remember this person. The stamping I have, people say, oh, why you stamp that? Because this is my moment. I remember, oh, Josh did this year. He very well. He did this, he pushed himself. And this is the moment. Each certificate I sign, Ronnie sign, and we stamp. We remember you guys. This is really important.
100%.
Not only take the certificate. No, the stamp is for farewell. This is moment. This is moment. We have a little bit this moment for remember this guy with us in here, training with us. Yeah. I think today you wanna talk something more, Josh?
I'm happy to keep talking if you want to, but there's nothing on my mind in particular. I guess one of the big things that we have going on in the gym in particular is, we've got the grading coming up.
Yeah, grading coming up 2nd of May.
Yeah, lots of people.
Barbecue.
Yeah.
Brazilian barbecue. People wait
also
for that.
Some stripes and some belts.
Belts, the stripes, rolls. We can have a rolls this time now, because we're gonna make afternoon. It's good. People can hang out.
Yeah. I think it'll be good because you've got people that have things in the morning. most weekend sports. First thing in the morning. 9 a.m.
Angel coming.
Yep. She'll
good.
come.
Good. Women's in the mat.
Yeah.
Now, actually, another thing we have in the gym, women's class, getting very popular.
Yeah.
Lots of women's, mummies. It's really good. More women's in the mat. And
Yeah.
good things.
I've actually got a good story for Angel and her women's class. So the way that she started out with the women's class, like she only did the women's class in the beginning, and then she got really comfortable with it. And then what happened was a group of the women decided that they were going to go try the normal class.
Mixed class.
Yeah. So then they all went together. So they didn't train with anybody but themselves, but they were still in the environment. They were still on the mat with everybody learning from a different coach, because the women's class coach is very different from the normal coach.
Yeah.
So then they were there, and then they all got comfortable being there, and then now Angel just goes to both. She'll go to the women's class because the way that her gym does it is women's class is before, and then they have the normal class afterwards. So she'll go,
both.
Yeah, she'll do the women's class, and then she'll just stick around, jump into the normal class, and then that's it. And I think that's really good, is that a group of them decided that let's give it a go.
Learning more.
Was that?
Learn it 2 times.
Yeah. So now she's there, even though she only goes 2 times a week, she's basically doing 4 classes.
Yeah.
So that's the equivalent of going four times in a week.
That's, I say, the Janelle now, when they finish the 12 weeks class for beginners, if they want to enjoy the mixed class, they welcome it, because some of the girls doing now, finish the class and they jump with us. But for the new ones, it's really important. And start beginner, and they have the ABC first. We call ABC like the first techniques, and they feel more comfortable in the jumping mix.
I think that would be something good for Janelle to do, is instead of one day having her normal class, they all just come together as a group and join into that class. They don't have to obviously pair with anybody else. They can still be within their group, but at least they're in the environment and they can feel comfortable, And then if they go, oh, I really actually enjoyed it, they might want to start, jumping in more, because obviously it's only 2 days a week, but if they wanted to train 3 days a week, they could add in that extra day and then feel the comfort of being there. But then it's very hard, I guess, being a solo person where you don't know anybody in
Actually, we have this plan.
Yeah.
We're talking about me and Janelle about that. But we still have a woman's start now and really, really shine, or really scary a little bit. I think we need to make little bit more time. But they gonna start like enjoy some. Janelle, Lara, Alan Rose, some of the girls jump straight away to the other class. Leah, but we're gonna give a little bit more time, and now we're gonna finish this class, 12 weeks. We're gonna start women's gi class with gi, and I think after that they bottle the gi, start slowly, and grade as well. They're very excited for grading as well, and I think it's gonna be good.
Yeah, no.
And thank you for the suggestion as well.
Yeah.
And again, guys, welcome to have this talk to us today. And it's very pleasure have you in here, Josh, and talking about everything. And I would say it is really important we have peoples in here talking about jiu-jitsu and everything. This podcast in here is for talk about everything, not only jiu-jitsu. We can talk about everything. Thank you very much again.
You're welcome.
And see you next time, guys.
Yeah. Thank you very much.